Hello, I'm Joe Homnick, and this knowledge bit is about the 5 things Floridians should know about the proposed Save Our Homes from Excessive Property Taxes Amendment, also known as HJR 1F. If 60% of the Florida voters approve it in November 2026, the amendment would take effect in January 1st, 2027, changing how homesteaded and non-homesteaded properties are taxed. Important note, throughout this video, we are discussing benefits related to the property's assessed value, the value used to calculate how much property tax is owed. Let's get started with the 5 most important things to know about this. 1. The homestead exemption would increase. Today, homesteaded homeowners receive a valuation exemption of $50,000 for non-school taxes and $25,000 for school taxes. Note that tax assessments on the value of properties are split between school and non-school. We'll talk more about this later. Under this amendment, for non-school tax valuations, the exemption would increase to $150,000 beginning in 2027. And then the exception would increase again to $250,000 beginning in 2028. Additionally, future non-school tax valuation exemptions would be adjusted for inflation. So you can assume exemptions will grow each year. 2. Do I qualify? To qualify for the expanded homestead exemption, you must meet 4 basic requirements. First, own the property, no LLCs. Secondly, use the property as your permanent primary residence. Third, filed for a Florida homestead exemption. And finally, be a Florida resident as of December 31st, 2026. The 2026 residency requirement is especially important. If you are a Florida resident by the end of 2026, you qualify for the new benefit. If you become a Florida resident after 2026, you need to wait 5 years to receive the expanded benefits. If you plan to move to Florida and claim a homestead exemption anytime soon, this timing is an important factor to consider. 3. School property taxes are not affected. One of the biggest misconceptions in this amendment could eliminate property taxes altogether. It does not. School taxes would remain in place and continue to be assessed separately. These school taxes are a significant portion of your property tax bill. For the top 20 cities in Florida, school taxes accounted for 27 to 35% of the total property taxes in 2026. So expect that around a third of your tax bill is not changing. 4. Non-homesteaded properties receive a significant benefit, and possibly renters too. If you're a non-homesteaded property owner, there's a significant benefit for you in the amendment. Today, homesteaded homeowners benefit from a 3% annual assessment cap under Save Our Homes, while non-homesteaded properties can increase by up to 10% per year. The amendment would narrow that gap by chopping the non-homestead gap by 50% to 5%, while keeping the homestead cap at 3%. Given that Florida's home values have risen 74% over the past 5 years, this would be a major benefit. But what about renters? Renters are not directly addressed in the amendment, so any benefit would be indirect. Still, slower growth in property taxes could help moderate future rent increases by reducing operating costs for rental property owners. 5. It creates a framework for additional tax relief in the future. This part of the amendment is especially promising to me because earlier tax relief proposals were much more substantial than what ended up in the final version. Many people were disappointed with this result, but listen to this. The amendment directs the legislator to establish a process that would allow local governments to provide additional property tax relief in the future. Rather than being a one-time adjustment, the amendment creates a framework that could support future tax relief efforts. Beware, elected officials. How you choose to implement this framework will play a major role in how voters judge you at the ballot box. In closing, ultimately, this amendment asks a simple question. Should Florida provide significantly greater property tax protection for property owners while slowing assessment growth for businesses and rental properties? As a supporter of this proposal, I believe the answer is a resounding yes. There is good news in this amendment for homesteaded and non-homesteaded properties, along with businesses and possibly even renters.